And now for the good news. It looks like we really are the lucky country, that we've dodged the fatal bullet, escaped the worst of the global financial crisis. You'd never think it now, but a year ago, the outlook was grim. The experts were predicting a terrible recession, if not a full-on depression with catastrophic job losses. Sure, many Australians are still hurting, but where it counts most, there are jobs galore. From the coal mines of Queensland across to the huge gold, iron ore and natural gas fields in the west, the mood is buoyant, the opportunities are endless, and the good times are rolling all over again. In Far North Queensland, it's another hot and dusty day on the Copperbella coal mine.
220 tonne is his target.
220 tonne of dirt.
Yeah. That's a lot of shovels, isn't it?
It's a whole lot of digging.
It's a giant and precious hole in the ground that's helped drive our economy through the toughest of times.
You do love it, don't you?
I do.
And right there at the coalface is Michelle Osborne.
I love showing people what we do out here. It just and seeing the look on your face when one of these trucks go past, and just how big it is. Yeah, the sound, the look, the sights, the dust.
3 years ago, Michelle quit her city job in healthcare and headed bush. With no mining experience, no special licence, she had no problem getting a gig behind the wheel of a massive earth-moving truck. What were you like when you first got behind the wheel?
Can I swear? No, I was shitting myself. No, I was nervous.
Have you ever put the truck sideways?
I have. Yeah, in the wet, they do go out from underneath you, and that's a moment for brown undies. This is my baby.
These are your wheels.
These are my wheels.
But at 33, Michelle's career gamble is paying handsome dividends. And she's just one of an army of miners striking it rich in a resources boom that has defied the global financial crisis. If it's not a rude question, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you earn?
Oh, just a little over 100,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's double the average wage.
Yeah, it is. And I worked on the average wage for a good 8 or 9 years, and yeah, this is nice.
From the coalfields of North Queensland to the rich iron ore deposits of the Pilbara in WA, the good news story's the same.
David, how much do you love this stuff?
Right, look at that. Look, you could just about eat it. It is beautiful. Well, you could roll around in this stuff. It's not caviar, it's steak and eggs, but there's a lot of money in it and a lot of opportunity.
Dave Flanagan runs Atlas Iron.
Now what do we got over here? You're actually loading up.
He might be just a small player in this massive industry, but he's not only survived the credit crunch, he's flourished.
David, I thought there was meant to be a recession on.
Yeah, well, it missed us. It missed the Pilbara. There's no recession here.
In just a few years, he's built from scratch an $800 million company that employs 130 people, all thanks to China's insatiable appetite for these rusty rocks.
We found 130 million tonnes of iron ore in the last 3.5, 4 years. Imagine what we can find in the next 10.
And have a look at what you've got already. Pouring down.
This is just the beginning. This resource boom that it's actually running now is enough to build hospitals and schools and roads and bridges for the whole country for the next 30 or 40 years.
There's a pace of development out here that's hard to measure unless you get out to these remote corners and take a good look at what's really in our backyard. Boom towns like Port Hedland.
Right, here we go.
Radio, through the hatch.
Yeah. It's actually Australia's biggest export port. Right now you're seeing it at work, and have a look at that. It's not standing still, is it? It is going gangbusters, and within the next 3 years they reckon they're going to double export capacity here. Double it.
From the red earth of the northwest to the green pastures down south, The mining boom is turning up in places you wouldn't expect. Like Bonnington, deep in rich farming country, just an hour and a bit out of Perth.
I haven't even felt the recession. Not at all.
Is that true? You've been living in a bubble out here.
Yeah, probably.
The locals here have got plenty to cheer about.
You've struck gold. Close enough.
Nearly 0% unemployment and a booming township, all thanks to one of Australia's most ambitious mining projects. This is Australia's largest gold mine, and they've really only just started digging. Pretty soon, it's going to be 4 kilometres long, and down there, it's going to be 5 times as deep. Standing here, you can't help but be overwhelmed by the sheer size of it. But what's even more impressive is the impact these giant quarries are having on our economy. Holes in the ground like this have single-handedly saved Australia from a crippling recession. And when you have a look at what's happened to the rest of the world, you've got to say, we really are the lucky country.
Well, we try and put through 110,000 tonnes of dirt in a 24-hour period. A normal gold mine would probably do about 800 tonnes a day. So it's huge, it's massive.
The biggest?
Yes, the biggest and the best. And that's not just because I'm here, it is fantastic.
Quentin Harmer was a local school teacher, but when mining giant Newmont rolled into Bonnington, he quit the classroom to take up a traineeship. That's a big step to make, to turn around and completely change your career and life.
Yeah, it is, but we had an opportunity on our doorstep that we couldn't refuse. It was something that it was less stress, probably less hours than teaching, and it's great. It's a fantastic place to be.
Less stress and less hours than teaching?
Yes, I would say so in the job that I was in, yeah.
Quentin and his wife Linda, who also works at the mine, love Bonnington because of its location. They're getting all the benefits of the boom without the isolation of remote mining areas like the Pilbara.
Quint's got the beauty of I suppose, a fly-in, fly-out job, but he's home every night as well. That's right.
I get to see my kids every night, and I get to spend a week with them every second week. It's fantastic.
You're pretty happy, aren't you?
Yeah, to say the least, yeah.
Just last week, they poured their first gold, and Newmont plans to produce $1 billion worth of gold a year for at least the next 5 years. This single bar weighs 12 kilos and is worth about $400,000. That's about the price of your average suburban family home. And I've got to tell you, when you hold on to this, it really feels like it's worth every cent. Demand for this precious metal has never been stronger. It's used in just so many things. Jewellery, of course, but you'll also find it in your laptop, even your mobile phone. We are on the cusp of a new gold rush, one that's going to keep Australia wealthy for decades to come. It really is pure gold.
I'm just a dirty old diesel mechanic, mate. Simple as that, but I've got money in my pocket and a pretty good life, mate, so there's nothing to complain about, is there? If you want to have a go with anything, you will, and the opportunities have been here, still are here. It's just a matter of people basically getting off their arse and getting amongst it, mate.
I just started my own spray tan business.
So there's a market for spray tans in a mining town.
Market for spray tans.
Yeah, you've got to wear long sleeves all day. You've got to get yourself.
Back in Mackay, coal truckie Michelle Osborne isn't afraid to spend her hard-earned either.
There is a time that I know that I'll have to, settle down a little bit more and put it towards more worthwhile things. But at the moment, I've just enjoyed myself, and I've reaped the benefits of what I've been doing, and it's time to, just enjoy it.
Splurge.
Splurge.
Why not?
For now, yeah.
She's a one-woman stimulus package, and for local businesses, that's great news. How much was that?
$599.85.
$600. What have you dropped here?
I got 3 pairs and an apron for that. I think that's pretty good. And a bag. No, it's Melbourne Cup season coming up. It's the races season, so a girl can't have too many shoes.
So this is what happens inside these stores. when women come in and start spending.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
It's extraordinary.
Thank you very much, Leonie. Would you like to carry those?
Here we go, I'll
Thank
carry
you.
the bags. That's my job, is it?
On to the next school.
But the rewards come with sacrifice. The shift work is tough. Every 5 days, Michelle packs up and drives 2 hours from Mackay to the mine. For the next week, home is in a miner's camp and she'll do 12-hour shifts, night and day.
See you later.
And there's not a lot of time for love. You see, Michelle's boyfriend Tommy also drives one of these big rigs.
Good, mate. How you doing?
And the rosters aren't kind. They can go weeks apart, but tonight, between shifts, there's a chance for a quick kiss and catch up.
Sometimes we don't even get to see each other, so this is a good night.
It's a treat.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a treat, is it? Are you proud of what Michelle does?
Oh, I'm stoked with what Michelle does, yeah. Yeah, no, very proud of her. But what they say is, you know, behind every good woman's a good man, so...
Oh, yeah.
We'll leave you be for a second. I think you've got to get on a bus, but...
Yeah, I've got to get going. All right.
See you, Ben. Have a good one.
And we headed off too, over to the west to see WA's next big thing. Gold, iron ore and coal. For decades, our natural mineral wealth has been dug out of dirt like this. But way out there, deep beneath the ocean, lies what could be our richest discovery yet, natural gas. One project alone is about to tap into $500 billion worth of the stuff. It's $500 billion. It's hard to get your head around. But what it means is 10,000 jobs to get it up and going, and a gas reserve they reckon will last for 60 years.
All the numbers are just massive. You know, the biggest mobilisation of capital outside of any government project. That's, you know, $50 billion. That is just huge.
This is gas. You can't see it. It's at the bottom of the ocean out there.
Yeah, it is. But I tell you what, we will see the schools. We will see the hospitals. And I tell you what, we should expect to see that, because there will be a lot of money going into the hands of the governments, and that's the opportunity that they've got.
After a year of financial doom and gloom, it takes a while for all of this to sink in. But it's not just one pocket of Australia preaching prosperity. We left the cities, crossed the country top to bottom, and the message of supreme optimism was the same everywhere in regions rich with resources. And we found people like Michelle Osborne, who's just one of thousands of Australians to seize the moment.
There's many opportunities there, and it's only going to get bigger.
Good on you. We better let you get back to it, I think.
All right, copy that.
It's a busy shift.
See you later.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.